Hey folks, it's garden time, and my sister had requested that I do a Periscope, but I can't because Periscope won't let me. So I'm making this for her, and if you see it too, that's cool. So if you're into garden stuff, stay tuned. If you are not into garden stuff, this is not going to be a fun video for you. So I am a pretty avid gardener lately, and I have gotten a lot of plants recently because it's spring here in beautiful North Carolina, and so I've been doing, well, I haven't planted much of the stuff that I've just gotten, but stuff is coming up, things are blooming, and family and stuff is interested, so maybe you'll be too. I don't know. Let me know if you are. If you're not, whatever. I'll see you later when we're doing pen stuff. So here we go. All right, so this is my front, sort of a nook in between my front door and my garage. These are some irises. These are just regular old bearded irises, but these, look at this. Really pretty flower, very big and prolific. Like, it's going to have a lot of irises on it. Each one of these has 2 or 3 buds at least. Some of them are still coming out. There are a few that are still coming up. But these are pretty tall, probably 3 feet tall-ish. I've had these in this spot for about a year. And actually I gave some of these to some friends because I could not, oh, one of them broke off. Oh, well that's sad. So much for this little iris. It doesn't get 2 blooms. Oh well. Let's throw it back down there where it was. Must have been this windstorm. We've had some serious rain and wind and stuff. So anyway, this is a bearded iris. It's been in the house since I got here, but I moved it. This is the rest of them, which is, this is a pretty big patch of irises. There's a hand for scale, I guess. These are not blooming yet, although here we go. Here's a couple that have buds on them. These will pretty much bloom throughout the summer. And in here somehow is a daylily. I didn't actually plant this, but a bird did. That's very helpful of that bird. Thanks very much, bird. So I'll add some interest after the irises have gone. This is ice plant, which blooms like this. And when we got here, the house, it was about a patch like this. And now, 3 years later, it is taking up a lot of room. But it's really pretty because most of it will be covered with that purple flower for most of the summer and then part of the fall as well. So that's cool. I've also got some Dusty Miller that keeps coming back. I planted it like 2 or 3 years ago and it just keeps coming back even through our summer. And that's this white plant right here. There we go, that. These are sedums. My wife loves sedums. There's a little bit of oxalis mixed in there. It's kind of a weed, but I don't know, I think it's kind of pretty, so I leave it there sometimes. My wife really likes sedum, which is this stuff. It's a succulent, it's kind of a leathery leaf. These will have blooms that are about this tall, on, well, stalks anyway, and they'll have like a big flower head at the top with like thousands of tiny little blossoms later on in the summer. Not nearly now, but these are perennials where we live, and they keep coming back, and we like them. These actually were a single stalk that somebody at a garden center gave us. It was like, here's some that fell over, have this, just stick it near dirt. Well, that's what we did, and now they're all mixed in with things, which is fine. I like a bit of a messy garden type thing. These are little things called, I think they're called snowballs or puffballs or something like that, but they're little tiny evergreens. They're not going to get much bigger than that. Maybe they'll get twice that size, but probably not too much. That's an aster. A Stokes aster. It is of course way too early for this to be blooming, but you can see in here that's where the buds are going to come from. So lots of growth. This actually is evergreen here. It doesn't ever actually go away, and it actually doesn't have dead leaves or anything in it, and I haven't pruned it at all, so it just kind of looks like that all the time unless it's blooming, in which case it has these kind of like pin cushiony looking flowers. They're, I don't know, about that big, I guess. This is an oregano of some kind. Can you smell it? Yep, definitely oregano. Doesn't look like much now, but it will have flowers later on in the season. This is either a Harryon muhly grass or a pink flamingo grass. You can see this is the growth that's left over from last year. These are actually like pink flowers, pink plumes that come up off this ornamental grass. Audrey, my wife, loves ornamental grass. This is a catmint. Cats meow, according to this little tag, and that's what it does. It has, well, I can take it inside and give it to my cats for one thing. But it also has flowers. It looks nice. This purple thing right here is a barberry bush. I hate it. It's going to be torn out in not too long. Its days are certainly numbered. I have a bush to replace it. Let me show you why. If you're not familiar with barberry, I think I just focus. See that? Those are vicious thorns that are all over this concerned plant, and it will stab you through heavy leather gloves. Like, I got like special big fat leather gloves to deal with it. Still stabs me, and it always gets in your like knuckles for some reason, and it just won't come out, and it stings like fire. I hate it. So that thing is going to come out. It's going to be thrown in the trash. It's the worst. They planted 3 of them here. You can see that is the only one left. In their place, I've planted these little abelias. which are, well, let's see, this one is called Canyon Creek. But this will get about 3x4, so it'll fill up the space nicely eventually. I only put it in the fall, so it hasn't had much time to grow, but it is a beautiful yellow color. That's just kind of the color it'll be. It'll turn green, but there's that. This is a patch of sedums, again, different kinds of sedums. This is actually one of those sedum planks that you get and you just throw on the ground. They were selling them pretty cheap at Lowe's last year, and so I just took one and threw it out here, and it survived over the winter. This is like watch chain sedum or something maybe. I don't know what this is called. It's got some weeds in it that need to be pulled, but this will be pretty. I don't know if it'll flower. We'll see how it goes, but if not, it'll be a ground cover, and if I don't like it, I'll take it out and put it somewhere else. Sedum's easy like that. These are mostly surprise lilies, and the thing about surprise lilies, if you're not familiar with them, is that they have these like thin strappy leaves. These are kind of variegated a bit. When they came out, they were sticking straight up, but we've had a couple of frosts. Get out of here, bindweed. Ugh. Bindweed is the worst. It's pretty, but it just tangles up everything. Hate it. And the roots go forever. So anyway, this is this surprise lily will have this kind of weird strappy looking foliage, and it'll kind of die back, and then in a couple of months it will erupt with, I don't know, flower stalks about this tall that have like these beautiful little flowers on them. So that's a whole patch of them. I got these from my grandma's place. After she passed, my aunt dug them up and brought them to me, so I put them in here. I actually don't know what this is. This is a surprise. That foliage could be any kind of bulb. I don't know what it is, but some kind of bulb that got mixed in there. So we'll see what happens with that. Little tufts of mondo grass that are slowly spreading out. When I put it in, they were about this big. Now they're, you know, quadrupled in size, so that'll keep going. That's cool. Audrey loves grasses, as I said, so that's what those are for. And then moving down, another abelia. This one's quite a bit larger. It's been here longer, and also was bigger when I put it in. But this is a different one. I forget what this one's called. Kaleidoscope, I want to say this abelia is called. But if you look closely at these leaves, if I can get it out of my shadow, let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. You see that they are also variegated leaves. They will darken up. They'll turn more green as the growth gets older. But these will be a really pretty sort of like splash of color in front of these hollies that we actually didn't pick. They came with the house. So, you know, there you go. That's some weeds that I need to pick. Over here, these are gladiolus. Right here. These are coming back strong and multiplying hugely every year. This was, I think, 3 bulbs, maybe 4 bulbs a year ago, and now you can see there's tons in here. All these tall ones. And these will, if you're not familiar with gladiolus, they will be, oh, what are you? You are bugs. I will mush you. Mush. Mush. Sometimes you gotta do a little mushing in the garden. That's a garden thing to do. There's tons of these little gladiolus in there coming out, so this is gonna be real pretty here in a few months. These in the back are another gladiolus that I put in, and these are sort of more triangular shaped flowers, and they're sort of a white with, I think, I want to say like a red interior. I got these from Plant Delights. I can't remember the variety name. I'll have to look back at my records. These are some, this here is another sedum. It's called Angelina. You'll see more of this when I get to the backyard. I just threw a couple of sprigs on some dirt and they sort of poofed up. And they go around with these things fairly nicely. So these, I don't know what these are actually. They haven't bloomed. They're from my grandma's garden. They were more bulbs. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but we'll see what they are when they bloom. That's kind of the thing about bulbs sometimes. You don't really know what they are until they bloom. Over here's a hosta. I don't know why it's still there. It's like the only one I haven't torn out. Probably because it's underneath those hollies and it would hurt, but it's in full sun more or less here, and it does fine, which is odd, but it's also deer candy, so if we get deer in the neighborhood, they're gonna come and eat that, so we'll see how it goes. It's been there for a long time. It keeps surviving. But this is my other front bed. This is not particularly well cared for, if I'm honest. I haven't had time to get to this one much. We've got some iris up here. I don't know what these are. These will be a surprise. Oh look, one of them is gonna bloom. That's cool. Well, this surprise will be answered soonish. Now, these are also from Grandma's garden. In there, we've got some mums that have just come back. They're a little bit frost damaged, but they'll be all right. There's some black-eyed Susans right in there. These up at the front are daffodils, and they've already bloomed and passed, so they'll just be foliage. Well, so another little mum. I'm not entirely sure what this is. It might be another black-eyed Susan that I put in there to see if it would survive, and I guess it did, so that's cool. But this little, I don't know, this is I'm gonna say it's a flowering plum or something. That's the mighty truck in the background. I don't like this tree. It's not super healthy. It doesn't look that good. Like, it's got dead branches on it. I kind of want to tear it out and put something cool in its place, like a big redbud tree or something I think would look cool there, but I haven't done it yet. All right, so we'll go around to the backyard here in just a sec. I totally forgot to mention these. These are actually what's going to replace one of these. Probably this one is going to replace that terrible barberry bush. This is a beautiful bright green plant. Let's see, what is this one? I just got this one, so I'm not entirely sure what it is. It turns out, oh, there we go. Oh, no, that's not the name. There it is. Double play gold spirea, which will have, as it shows here, like lots of pink blossoms on it eventually. But it's going to stay this kind of awesome gold color. So it'll be kind of like the abelio, but enough different that I think it'll be interesting. And then this one, I've gotten to replace something over on the other side by my driveway that I'm not a huge fan of. But this one is a Deutzia. I don't know what this plant is, but it has, I'm told that it grows very well here, and that it has like these sprays of white flowers. These are actually just buds. They will bust open into star-shaped flowers. Here also, I just got these today, don't tell anyone. These are lantanas, beautiful, brilliant gold lantanas, and then some, red rocket, snapdragons, that's what it is. Sometimes I forget the names of things. This is a red one. This will be a white snapdragon, so I'm going to intersperse those. They're going to go over by my driveway. And this is where I keep stuff over winter. I have like a big pile of leaves back here. I had put stuff in it. Got a couple of, Akuba japonicas, which are nice shady bush things. Sometimes they get a little burnt, as you can see right here on this leaf. A little bit black and burnt, but they'll be okay. These are striped Solomon seal. Those came from my aunt's garden. She gave those to me. There's like little rhizome type critters. You just throw them in there, cover them over soil, and boom, you get these tall, relatively tall, part sun, part shade flowers with like these cute little flowers underneath. And you get interesting foliage all year. Not all year, I guess all summer. There's some more down there, yeah. There we go. So those are pretty. Everything else back here is, there's a flat of plants that didn't quite make it or that I'm waiting to come back. A hose that I haven't wound up. I will. My mom got me this nice hose box. A couple of other things hidden back there. All right, now we'll go around to the front. Oh no, let's go take a look at the driveway. All right, so this area is a mess, honestly. I put in like 2 feet, 3 feet of leaf mulch in here, and stuff is still growing up through it. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. I'm just gonna have to go through here with a weed whacker and cut it down, or I don't like using poison if I can get away with it, but I don't know, I need to mulch it harder or something, I guess. It just kind of came up through. The reason I came back here is actually show you this little gem, which started leafing out, and then we got all kinds of frost. And I covered it one night. I didn't cover it the other, but you can tell there's plenty of like healthy stuff in there. This is a hydrangea. I forget the exact name of it. It's a macrofolia. It's going to be big. It's going to probably dominate. It's going to dominate this space back here. It's supposed to be like 10 feet wide or something. So I put it in the middle. It'll dominate. It likes it. That was just a tiny little sprig when I put it in, and it's real early for it. So it's not doing much yet. But later on, it will be awesome. It has these flowers. They're like this big apparently, with like blue and white, bits, little tiny blue ones and big white ones, and it'll be a whole thing. I've got a couple of viburnums in here. You can probably barely make out besides the weeds. Like I said, I haven't gotten over here to deal with this yet, but these are viburnums. See the little telltale leaves there. They're doing fine, just coming out. Another little viburnum. Some brush. And this one's really, really quite happy, and it's going to bloom for me. Viburnums often bloom. This one is gonna, I don't know, it's probably gonna have little white flowers if I remember what this is. But these will eventually get fairly tall, not huge or anything. They're kind of a bushy tree type critter. But they'll give you some privacy from the neighborhoods. This was a lantana last year. You can see these sticks. Still waiting to see if it comes back. It's supposed to, but we'll see. This here is one that I always forget the name of. So I left this little tag on there until it gets too tight. This is, Virginia Sweetspire. This is Henry's Garnet, which I got last year. It's just starting to come back, so you got a little bit of frost damage as well. But not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, and a stray iris. You never know whether those guys are going to pop up. I don't mind. That's cool. These are some peonies that I got from my grandma's garden as well. These are just little guys here and here. Slightly different colors and such, but they're both, well, this one's bloomed. It's pink. I don't know what this one is. We'll have to see. But it looks different in the foliage, so we'll see if it just matures to be green or if it has a different sort of flower going on. Some more irises that I picked up somewhere, threw over there. Again, I don't know what these are. These are mystery plants, mystery bulbs from my grandma's place, but I threw them in there. We'll see how it goes. This is a black crepe myrtle, which is actually starting to bud out, which is nice. There you go. You can see the little leaf buds. Just a little bit. I may cut this back a little bit just to make it help it with the form, but I don't really like cutting crepe myrtles. I kind of like the wild form. These are Laura pedalum, just little monkey grass type things. This is going to be something special, I hope, soonish. You can see here it's definitely leafing out. It's looking good. This is a beauty berry. This is a variegated beauty berry called variegated beauty berry. Well, that's boring. Let's see if that's a better name. Duet. Yeah, variegated white beauty berry. I don't know, get 3 or 4 feet tall. So, I don't know, not a whole lot taller than this, probably yay. But it's variegated. It's supposed to be a stable variegated variety, which is odd. Apparently they don't usually come like that. This stick right here is going to be a brugmansia when it comes back. It's way too early for that to come back. It hasn't started doing anything yet. These right here are fringe flowers. Laura pedalum, I think is what that's called. Liriope. These are Liriope. I call them Laura pedalum earlier. Liriope, just grass. But this is the fringe flower. I don't know, they're kind of rangy. Like, I think I need to cut it back or something. I just haven't gotten the gumption to do so. And there's another one over here that doesn't look very good at all. I'm probably going to take this one out and put in that nice star-flowered one. What else? Oh, these little guys. These are just coming in. These are, not Coreopsis, but it does start with a C. Shoot, it's a little bulb. Maybe I'll think of it later. We'll see how it goes. These are standard bush. See what I mean when I say the unstable variegate? This is the green version. This is the variegate version. I gotta cut this out or it's gonna take over. So I'll be cutting that out soon. There's some iris in here that are variegated. Those are purple iris that are variegated. I probably ought to cut this big bush back more. Goodness, it's really taking over. You never know with these bushes. And here around the front, little patch of Angelina. Our little friend Angelina there. That stuff is indestructible pretty much. If you want a sedum that will take winter, that will take cold, that will take hot, that will take dry, that will take wet. It's also like semi-aquatic, so if you have like a shore or a little lake or something you want to put it on, that's a good place. It's awesome. Don't put it where you don't want it, because it is kind of hard to get rid of. This guy is a dianthus that I put in like 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago. I think it was like one of the first plants I put in, and I never care for it. I don't do anything to it. It just keeps coming back. This guy is a survivor. It has nice purple flowers. This is a red hot poker. This is a red twig dogwood, which is just recently leafed out. You can barely see the red, a little bit in the stem. The new growth is red, so I cut it back a lot. I'm gonna cut it back some more. It's gotten too rangy. It needs to be a better form. My mailbox here, a couple of different creeping asters. There's like a very nice candy striped one. And we have this one, which is bright pink. Those look nice from the road. This is another one of those dianthuses, which is doing just fine. Oh, here's a flower. It bloomed for me. Actually, it's got a ton of buds on it. Like, right here is buds. But this is what the flower looks like. Right there. So this whole thing's gonna be covered with those guys most of the summer. It's a beautiful little plant. Hard to kill. Love it. This is a pincushion flower. I've only just gotten this one. I don't really know much about it. But it does have an interesting flower. It is purple. Boo horned frogs. But you know, notwithstanding, I do like that a lot. And then this one is mossy rockfoil, which is a tiny little plant. It's got a little bit of greenery down here. I've just put this in and mulched it, so it's kind of overwhelmed by mulch right now. But it's got these beautiful little red flowers with white centers. So I'm hoping that expands a bit. It's supposed to. Okay. Anything else? Not really a whole lot. I need something in here. There's actually a little tree come up here. Which, I don't know. We'll see if it comes back. But that. Got some daylilies here. Got some ice plant. This is a different ice plant. It's called Fire Spinner, which got kind of bare in the middle, so I threw some compost on top of it. We'll see if it, how it comes back. But it'll come back fine. That stuff's a fighter. Different kind of sedum there. And this I think is just a branch. Yeah, that I pruned off. All right, so that's that. We'll go around to the back now. All right, so this is the first little garden here in the back. Let's see, where should I go? This way, I guess. This here is a sedum. can't have enough sedums. Audrey loves them, so I keep getting them. This is a really beautiful, brilliant green sedum. This is going to be more black-eyed Susans. Nice fuzzy leaf on those. This one, like, I half suspect this is actually a weed, but it looks like a thing that I planted there. I think it's actually a weed. I don't know. I'm not going to pull it up today, but its days are numbered. It's kind of, I feel like it might be a weed. This is canna lily. Only one of these looks like it's coming up, but it's only just started, so I'm hopeful that the rest will kind of poke their heads out. This is a nice purple canna. We'll see what it turns out to be. Alright, my backyard is a little unkempt, because I have not had a chance to mow. Oh look, there's Scraggle Dog. Hi Scrags, you're on film. There you go. This is my little side garden. I put this in last summer. It was kind of a lot of work because I had to take all the grass off by hand. Got some hostas down here, some phlox next to it, the tall phlox, not the short one. There we go, that's better. Some more hostas. These got damaged by frost. I totally didn't know they were actually out here, and I didn't cover them, so there you go. This plant, I actually have no idea what this is. This one right here. So if you know what this is, leave a comment, because I don't know, but it's like a low-growing thing. It looks like it's, you know, kind of spreading out, and it's got these beautiful purple flowers. I don't think it's a weed. I'm almost 100% sure I planted it, but I can't remember what it is. What else? Oh, this is another ice plant. This is a yellow one, which Audrey always thinks is dying, but I keep telling her it'll be fine. It just has to have time to get it acclimated. But it's got this brilliant yellow flower. It just started flowering. It's got a bunch of buds. As you can see, it's going to be covered in yellow flowers. So that's cool. Back here is a little gardenia. That's not doing anything yet, but it will. This is euphorbia, otherwise known as like spurge, but I think euphorbia is nicer. I think this one's called blackbird. And this is actually the flower of this plant. Look at that. It's got like green petals, sort of a dark center. So this is very cool. It's also very deer resistant. So if you're in an area that has deer, oh, this is what the foliage looks like. It looks like this. So if you are in a place that has deer as a problem, this is good stuff because it is not at all friendly to deer. If you get the sap on your hand, it will kind of burn. So imagine taking a mouthful of that. Deer don't want it, so they don't do that. This, oh, look at that just coming up. That is, oh crud. Ugh, I have forgotten the name of it. It has a massive pink blossom like this. Hibiscus. This is a hibiscus. I didn't think it was going to come up. I thought it was dead, but look at that growth. So that's awesome. I'm psyched about that. The other one doesn't really have anything going on except for a couple little, I don't know, weed looking things. We'll leave them there and see what they do. But this is yarrow. Some beautiful yarrow. This is, shoot. Where's the tag? Ah, there it is. Oh yeah, coreopsis. This is a nice yellow and red coreopsis. There's 3 of them here. They will have plenty of flowers. They will not compete with this yarrow for height. The yarrow will get tall. On the other hand, this is a brand new yarrow that I just put in. And yarrow looks like this. Has these big heads of like very pollinator friendly flowers. So I'm psyched about that. Yeah, so I just put that in a few days ago. It's looking good, it's sticking up. This is another phlox. This is supposed to be candy striped. I got this from Plant Delights like last year, and it didn't actually turn candy striped. So I don't know, but it's still a very pretty phlox, and it does come back. And I'm lucky. I haven't had any problems with phlox, so you know, that's good. I've got a bunch of it around here. This is a flowering maple that I don't think made it through the winter. Sadly, it doesn't look good. So I'll give it some time, and if it doesn't come back, I'll put something else tall back there, tall and skinny, but you know, I'm sad that it didn't come back. This lump here is a bee balm, a big bee balm from last year. It's doing fine. Got a flame acanthus here in the back. That's just starting to come up. That's a perennial here. Another crepe myrtle, hasn't done anything yet. The black one is actually leafing out before this green one. This is your standard like pink crepe myrtle. I'm gonna make it be tall here in the back, let it spread out above the fence line. Up in front, oh, this is a verbascum. It doesn't look like much now because it's just got planted, but it will do this. Have big spires of very cool looking flowers. I'm psyched about that. Hope it does well. Yeah, it's more of those little flowers from up front. They're a bulb. Mom has a bunch of them in her yard that aren't doing particularly well. She's gonna send me some. Maybe she'll see this and she'll comment. I can't remember what this darn thing is called, but it has very nice, tiny little red flowers on stalks. So, I don't know, think like a tiny miniature gladiolus type of thing, but not quite. Anyway, maybe I'll think what that is called before the videos end. This is a privet. This is a very polite privet, actually. It doesn't really flower, it doesn't really have fruit. It's a contorted privet, which means, as you can see here, let's go on this side. As you can see here, all the leaves are sort of contorted and bent. They're all like wrapped around each other. Kind of awesome. Really like this one. Audrey's dad calls this the big boy, because when we got it, it was in this tub that was totally crazy huge. I mean, it was probably 2 feet across or something, 1.5 feet across. I've actually still got it over there. And there's more phlox, more phlox. That's a pink phlox. It's a nice pink phlox. I have this little water garden over here, which isn't doing much. It's got a little bit of growth going on. It's time to get some fertilizer in there. Maybe you'll see a fish if one comes up. There are 2 fish that live in here. They keep the mosquito population from exploding. And they eat plants, I guess, like dead plant stuff. So they're like a couple little goldfish. They're about yay big. There's a white one and an orange one. But this is a little water garden that has water lilies and a lotus. So they've done really well out here in my backyard. I just leave them in this sort of plastic half barrel thing. I keep the water topped off. It's a water source for birds and for scraggles. Right there. When she's feeling thirsty in the backyard, she takes a drink. It's, you know, it's just rainwater and sometimes hose water. She seems to like it, and it doesn't have any bad effects, so I let her do it. There you go. But this will bloom really nicely this summer if I remember to fertilize the darn thing. This is Asian lily is what this is. Some of it's fallen over. Not exactly sure why, but it started growing up again, so that's fine. It'll be interesting and wide. These little ones won't flower anyway, so I'm not too worried about them. But these will. You can see actually in there a little bit. That's where the flower is going to be, is in the middle of each of these. So that's cool. Glad that came back. It's a nice little potted planter thing. How wet is it? Yeah, it's pretty damp. We just had rain yesterday. This is how much pollen we have here. Look at this, it's nuts. I have to like scrape this off. It's crazy. Ugh, pollen, gross. This is a Taiwan shell ginger that we're coming up to here. This is not hardy at all.